I'm Dawn Reams, and I'm here with Bridges Domestic and Sexual Violence Support. It was convenient for us to get together in a group. It was affordable, and a board member, our board president, has worked with Jay in the past and recommended him. A really good strategic plan for us to go forward, especially during tough economic times.
I'm Colette, and I'm here from Symphony Nova. We really needed to work on our strategic plan, and it seemed like a worthy program in our area that it was easy for us to come to. And we're a young organization that needs to be doing these kinds of things. We hope to really solidify what our mission is and what we need to do to move forward.
My name is Glenn Bell. I'm with the John Andrew Mazie Foundation, and our mission is to use mentoring to turn at-risk youth into promising adults.
Well, that's what everybody loved, right?
What everyone loved, yes.
Did you guys come up with that mission statement today?
We did. We had an earlier version of it that was a little clunkier, but today's helped us sharpen it and focus it and make it, I think, a little tighter and more inspirational, actually. So it was fun to see the reaction in the room when we did the round table there. Yes. We knew that we needed to develop a new strategic plan. We're sort of reached an evolution in our growth where we're looking at what the next 3 to 5 years are going to be for our organization, and we knew that we needed some professional help to get where we were. So a subset of our board of directors is here today to help us craft that new strategic plan. I'm hoping to gain a good draft of the strategic plan on behalf of the organization. On a personal level, I'm hoping to learn more about strategic planning and how to do it better. Things that I can use in my business and other things that I do.
I'm Bob Keller. I'm the board president of the Mazie Foundation, and we are a mentoring organization serving both the Framingham High School and Waltham High School. And we've been around for about 15 years. We have an excellent mentoring program which is goal-oriented.
And I'm Mark Buckley. I'm a board member of the Mazie Foundation as well, and I have been with the foundation as a mentor and a board member for the last 14 years.
It helped us talk to each other, which board meetings we don't really cover stuff like this. We're dealing with day-to-day problems, and we don't have any real time to do a long-range planning. We're all busy doing other stuff. So this has been really helpful for us. In fact, we redesigned our mission statement. And I suppose other people did too, but that was quite an interesting process.
Yeah, I think the structured environment and spending 8 hours together with other nonprofits and having a framed discussion, I think, was really, really important. So,
absolutely, yeah, that's great.
Yes, it was very helpful.
Look forward to coming back.
I'm Susan Epstein. I'm president of the board of directors of Symphony Nova.
I'm Colette Novak, and I'm the operations manager.
I'm Larry Isaacson, and I'm the conductor and music director of Symphony Nova.
Well, we don't have a strategic plan, so it did help us in focusing on what we need to do, what our main issues are moving forward, I think. What would you say?
And I thought it was really well paced, actually. I've done these before in other places with other groups, and there was just enough time to do the thinking and then move on to the next thing that we needed to move on to and not feel rushed and not feel like there was too much time. So I thought the pacing was really nice. The questions and each project that we were working on seemed to flow nicely one into the next.
It's already started. We recrafted our mission. It just has a sexier sound to it now than it did before, and that was great. We thought we had it down pretty pat before we arrived, but it's changed a little bit.
Better?
Much better. Briefer.
Peter Hilton. I'm the president of Open Table. I didn't know completely what to expect. We have been thinking about doing a strategy for a long time, and we have not done it. And this was a wonderful opportunity. I got to meet Jay about a year ago when we were dealing with some issues. He was very helpful in his thoughts, and this came up, and we're glad to participate. Jay did a wonderful job. The best thing he did was to sit us down, give us some instructions, and then step out of the way. And that enabled us to work as a team in a way that we haven't spent the time to do in the past. So it was a very good day for us, and we think we got somewhere. Well, we came to agreement on what the important issues were. And I think we haven't all focused on and thought that out, and we now know what we have to do. And so I think that's 3/4 of solving the problem is knowing what the problem is. So it will help us a lot. If we left after today and didn't come back, we would have gained something important. But I'm hoping that by continuing, which we plan to do, of course, to the end, we will actually have a product that will be very useful to OpenTable. I think this project's going to be a success.
You from the Plugged In Band program?
I'm Sandra Riscala, and we're the co-founders and co-executive directors of the Plugged In Band program. We're also married.
In case you wonder.
Still. Basically, we had teenagers. We started this program about 10 years ago, and we had teenagers at the time, and we used to drive them around, and we'd hear kids talking about starting bands. Most of them weren't able to do it, and Tom is a musician. We just thought if we got the kids together and gave them a chance, some leadership and guidance, that they would be able to achieve that goal. And then we just started I don't really know how we started the part about the philanthropic aspect of the program, but we realized that when the kids got together and played music to help others, that the whole atmosphere changed, that the bringing compassion versus ego into the program really had a transformative effect on the kids.
And everything came to us by accident, really. The first thing that happened is we got together, we found 5 kids, and put together a ragtag group. The next thing you know, somebody asked us, would you play this benefit show? And then after that, we realized, that's a good reason to have a concert. And so we just kept doing it, and it's been 10 years now.
We are a small organization who is going through a lot of growth right now. We're moving to a new location. We're trying to expand enrollments to cover our costs. We're trying to strengthen our infrastructure to manage the growth. And even though this isn't the greatest time for us, we're a little overwhelmed. Having the chance to go through this process at a price that was doable, we just had to take advantage of it.
The expertise and the knowledge base here is something that we really need to access so we can have our growth be manageable and orderly.
So my last question for them is just to tell a little slice of an impact that you had on a client.
An impact we had
I'm going to mention
on our constituency.
Yeah. Well, we have one student who came to us and signed up for a band program, and after the first class he wanted to quit class, and his mom told us that he was having a lot of anxiety, he was having trouble learning the cover songs and kind of fitting into a structured environment, which ours is really not that structured. And instead of letting him quit, we asked, what would help. And so the mom said that he wanted to do an improv band. So we got some other kids together who also had struggled with some issues, put a little band together that was improv. And after one session, he was asking us to go back into a regular band, and now learns all sorts of cover music. And now he's actually playing as a professional musician. So we just felt that our program is really tailored. It's low stress. We really meet the kids where they are, very nurturing, and come as you are. And it really worked. It always works, but this was an example of a transformative experience.
Great.
Well, again, refocusing our. Because we're going to have a capital campaign starting this year, we need to really refocus our values so that when we portray ourselves to a community of people who are going to be helping us, that we can be clear and have a message that'll resonate with them so that they can help us move forward.
Hi, ready?
Sure.
Hi, I'm Bob Keller from the John Andrew Macy Foundation. We are a mentoring organization for at-risk kids at Waltham and Framingham High School. And this exercise here helped us solidify our goals for the next 3 years. And also, for the first time, we actually have a 10-year vision. And I think it was a very successful exercise. We look forward to implementing some of these things as soon as possible.
I'm Emmy Llewellyn, and I'm from the Brain Injury Association of Massachusetts. And coming into this process, my expectations were that we would make a 3 to 5 year strategic plan. We're kind of flying by the seat of our pants at the moment. So we came into the first webinar and it got exciting. We then came into the first off-site strategic planning meeting, and I was really impressed. I mean, anybody could think 8 hours sitting, really being introspective with your organization, but I was impressed. I was drawn in the whole time. I really felt the process was necessary, and if you're going to do this essential strategic plan again, I would say go for it. In between, we decided to, we really did the footwork for this as an organization. We took this seriously. We met as a management team to discuss our outcomes from the first offsite meeting and built a survey. And we decided to post it on our website just because we do have a lot of traffic, internet traffic. And we also gave it to all of our staff members. We gave it to our board members, and we gave it to people who were at a retreat a few months prior to this planning. And we got back some really good answers. We compiled all the answers, and we then interviewed board members individually to make sure that we could get them how they really felt on a face-to-face basis. So we're taking this process seriously as an organization, and it's getting better and better. We're finding out things. Geez, we have some gaps in our plan. Not only do we have gaps in service areas for that we've been combating for 30 years, but as we celebrate our 30th year as an organization, it's this is kind of enlightening, provides new insight into potentially the next 30 years of our organization. I enjoyed the process. The highlight is really that we have, at this point, even before the end, is we have tangible feedback from a really good core group of stakeholders, and we can parlay that into objectives for our top goals. We've really taken a lot of time to fulfill the steps. So this is no, yes, we'll come in and we'll do it and we'll get our whole strategic plan out of it, because there's a lot of legwork. But if you're willing to do the legwork as an organization with the steps that People's Worth has given you, then you're going to get some good results. So actually, the best thing about this is that we have, I guess, we have tangible feedback from our stakeholders, which gives us an essential part of all of our tactical plans in the long run. So I'm the manager of marketing and communications. I'm going to take this and use it in my marketing plan and strategy.
I'm Colette Novak, and we are from Symphony Nova.
I'm Marina Crickler. I'm the musicians representative to the board and a horn player in the orchestra.
I'm Michael Reichman. I'm assistant conductor as well as the marketing and development associate for Symphony Nova.
And I'm Larry Isaacs, and I'm the conductor of this orchestra.
We actually were able to have a meeting between last session and this one where we invited, we had a session actually before the first session and this one where we invited board members and staff and a few musicians from our orchestra so that we could get feedback kind of from different types of stakeholders in terms of what we were coming up with as our goals and what we wanted to do with the organization.
I unfortunately wasn't able to attend the first session, but this session I thought that some of the most valuable stuff came in creating a business plan and also in really having to work through the goals, objectives, and then the metrics from that, because I think for us we hadn't quite differentiated between what the goals and objectives were, so just to be able to sit down and have that conversation, even though it was difficult, was really valuable.
I would agree. I think it was very important to not just set a particular goal, but in fact actually breaking it down beyond that to think about the tangible ways that you can go from point A to point B. And so I think that was very valuable for us strategically as well as just on a day-to-day basis.
It unstuck us. We were stuck, and we needed a way to think how to move forward strategically. We've been talking about doing a strategic plan for about a year. We didn't know how to do it, so when this came up, we jumped in, And what's happened already in the 4 weeks, I think it was about 4 weeks since the last session, is we've already acted on several of the things that we said needed to be acted on. And I'm assuming that what happened today will cause us to then act on some more things. So the plateau we had hit, there's a big forward motion going on. We've already made some big, hard decisions about this year based on all of this. It's been very helpful to do that. We feel good about it. So it's definitely gotten us moving forward again, which we really needed.
So I decided to reach out to my stakeholders in what I thought was the most effective way possible. I basically created PowerPoint slides for the entire presentation that we got here. I put in all of our work that we had done for feedback and then tried to elicit their responses in a handy feedback form that I made for them and everything. Sent it to them in email, and I didn't get any responses! So that's how I engage my stakeholders.
I'm Sandra Riscala.
And we're from Plugged In.
Great.
The teen band program in Needham, based in Needham, serving the world. What a challenge it is to really have a business plan. Because we feel that we've had a business plan, it's been an unspoken business plan, now we have to have a really written down business plan with some details and a simplicity that we haven't been able to accomplish quite yet.
And I thought it was great to put all the goals down and the objectives, because it kind of, I had this overall blob of things I wanted to get done, and just to see them sort of deconstructed and laid out like that was helpful. I really feel this process is super, super helpful because, like doing a strategic plan, we don't have the money to hire somebody to come, consultant and do it with our organization. So it would never get done. And, doing it on our own, it would never get done. So this way, it's sort of like, yeah, we're sort of doing it on our own, but we have someone kind of holding our hand along the way. And there's some accountability because you have to go to the webinar and you have to and you want to feel good about the work you've done. So it's sort of it's a great combination, and I think it's a great model. We had a lot of fun. It was very, very fun is a big part of it.
And a sense of community amongst the nonprofits, as Peter Goldman was saying, in the Metro West area is just obvious, it's palpable.
Yeah, and strategic planning is a heavy, scary concept for nonprofits, and to make it sort of a light and fun and accessible process is really brilliant.
I'm Ann Budner. I'm the chair of the board of the Metro West Nonprofit Network. I think it was really valuable for us to sit down and spend some time concentrating on who we were as an organization, who we are and want to be in the future. We hadn't really spoken specifically about that. We had sort of assumed some things and we hadn't put words to it and talked as a group about it, and I think it was a very valuable opportunity that we had not had before. We did. We summarized all of our work from the first session and we presented it at our board meeting and got feedback from the board members. What we found is that people generally agreed with us and had sort of elaborations rather than critiques or real specific changes to make. So it was more like, good work, keep it up, keep going. That's what the feedback was. I think it reinforces the reason that you're involved with this nonprofit in the first place. It's a way of kind of checking in with your colleagues and yourself as to what's important to you and how to make what you're doing even better than what it has been. Oh, people kept saying to me that Jay has a very nice manner about him, which I agree with. He's able to deliver complex material in a very non-threatening, digestible way. And I keep thinking of Jimmy Stewart when I listen to him, because he just has this sort of lanky charm that you just feel like you're in good hands. And I think he has a real talent in facilitating large groups. I don't understand what he does. He makes it look easy, but I don't think it's simple. I think he's very masterful with it. I was skeptical that this would work, I have to say. I I think that strategic planning is extremely labor-intensive, thought-intensive. It takes time. And to think that you could bring 15 groups into one big room 2 times and come up with a strategic plan was very ambitious to me. I still think it's ambitious. I still think it's an outside-the-box kind of idea, but I'm more willing to consider it as a model that the network would try in the future and that might be worth replicating. Just because I think that most people can't afford a consultant just for themselves. So this is a much better than doing nothing at all. And I think it's actually a pretty good, solid process if people take it seriously and move beyond those 2 days and make it happen.